From being awarded $46,000 to being sued for $460 million by a random guy. These are the most popular times Michael Jordan got sued. NBA Hall of Famer and living legend Michael Jordan just got a huge payday. He might be used to getting a lot of money from his career, but this one is quite a bit different. Air Jordan was actually awarded around $46,000 for emotional damages after a lawsuit. But what actually happened? Jordan has been sued quite a few times in the past, but this one definitely takes the cake. All of this comes after a multiple-year trademarked lawsuit as a Chinese sportswear company and shoe manufacturer were ordered to pay the GOAT $46,000. The company is called Kiadon, which when translated from Chinese is Jordan. Wait, this all happened because a Chinese company used the name Jordan? How does that make any sense?
Hi, I'm Michael Jordan. I've been in the public eye now for 35 years, and I've always thought my name means everything to me, and it's something that I own. And when someone takes advantage or misrepresents that, I think it's left up to me to protect that. And I think that's for everyone, not just Michael Jordan. I think it's...
Well, it wasn't just the actual name of Jordan, as it actually connects to the brand over here in the rest of the world. The name Jordan is Michael Jordan's brand and company, not just his name. According to Variety and many other outlets, the company is also going to have to pay $7,600 in legal expenses. This brings the whopping total to about $53,000. Holy smokes, that's a lot of money. Even for someone like Jordan, that's a big payday, and basically doing nothing. Nah, man, he's definitely living the dream. The court ended up finding that the use of the name Kiadon was extremely misleading for customers, as they'd been using this scheme for well over a decade.
Unfortunately, a Chinese sports company has chosen to build a Chinese business off my Chinese name without my permission. And it pains me to see someone misrepresent my identity. I have no other choice but to turn to the courts. Other athletes have done the same.
I mean, it does make a lot of sense, especially the people going over to China from the U.S. If anyone sees that name, they will most likely connect it to Michael Jordan. The GOAT is just that popular around the world. Am I just picking up a pair of shoes from the company, thinking they are real? I guess it makes a lot of sense why they were sued in the first place. Because of this ruling, the company itself is now no longer allowed to use the name and any Chinese characters that relate to the product's trademarks. They are literally going to have to fully rebrand, but it serves them right. What the hell is wrong with them in the first place thinking they could do this? I guess they thought the language barrier would be enough to cover it. I don't know, but it gets worse for them from here. They've already had to pay up so much money, but more humiliation is to come.
It's not about the money. It's about principle. Protecting my identity and my name. I have a special bond with the Chinese fans. They've been to Chicago to support me when I played for the Bulls.
The company itself now has to open up a public apology in print and online, saying that there is no relationship to Jordan and never will be. God, they were really caught with their pants down, weren't they? And now they've had to do this? The company is ruined for sure, right, guys? Before everything went down, the company had around 200 trademarks relating to Michael Jordan. I guess MJ was more popular in China than he thought. Many of these were actually filed more than 5 years ago, which is where all of this began originally. This is because in China, registered trademarks can only be disputed within a 5-year timeline. Therefore, the court was not actually able to order them to stop using the name completely. I guess it doesn't really matter though, as Michael Jordan got the money and got the status because of it all. He's probably got a bigger Chinese market than he thought, and this case has allowed him to realize that. Could we be seeing a bigger Chinese market for Jordan in the future? It would make a lot of sense. The court then ruled that the company must take various reasonable measures to indicate that these older trademarks have no connection to the NBA legend. This basically means that the company has to prove that nothing connects to Michael Jordan and that they are basically a facade.
I've been to China. They were very supportive of me when I was there. So I feel it's important for me to make sure they are not misled by this Chinese company.
It just kicks them down even more, right? I mean, they can't even recover from this. They literally had to tell the customers that everything was fake and that nothing was connected to the real Jordan. Everything went open in thin air, but I guess that's fine for someone by the name of Air Jordan. Case wasn't actually as smooth as you might think, even with all this crazy evidence against the company. Yeah, legal cases do work like this sometimes. It's not as smooth as you might think. The defendant argued that the name Jordan is much more common in terms of a Western last name and was not a reference to Air Jordan specifically. But the courts are straight through their lies as they stated that their trademark of number 23 and the Chinese translations of Jordan's sons' names were an obvious attempt to mislead their customers. Damn, man, they doubled down that hard? I mean, I get it, they wanted to try and make as much money as they could, but geez, trying to trademark that much in China and then also going into the courts and trying to lie? These guys are ruthless, right, guys? The company wrapped up by saying that it had no intention of causing or allowing any harm when it came to public confusion, but I guess things didn't really work out like that, as ever since 2012, Jordan has consistently filed lawsuits against the firm, which is currently stocked up to a whopping 80 lawsuits against this one company. Damn, they really won't go down without a fight, will they? This might have been a huge case for Michael Jordan, but it's not actually the first time he's been sued. There have actually been so many other times that it's hard to count, from various child support cases to one that we actually find quite funny. Back in 2006, Michael Jordan himself was actually sued for $460 million by a random man. What the hell did Michael Jordan do to deserve such a case against him? Well, he was actually sued for just looking like himself. Yep, we aren't pulling your leg. Alan Heckard sued Michael Jordan on the grounds that his resemblance to the Hoops legend caused so much emotional pain and suffering throughout his life. He even stated that he had defamation and even permanent injury against him. The man also went on to sue Nike for the exact same amount, saying that it's their fault because they made Jordan the celebrity he is today. Is this guy stupid? I mean, when you actually look at the guy, he sort of looks like Jordan, but not really enough to say that he's a direct copy of him. I guess it would be easy to mix them up at a glance, but come on, man, this guy has to be insane. Obviously, the case never really went through as there were basically no grounds for contention, so Heckard eventually dropped the case not too long after it started. Hackett would go around and say that people would recognize him in the streets. They asked him to play ball in public parks or even asked him for some money. Maybe it's because her car had a shaved head and purposely got an earring that looks something like Michael Jordan's, but we really don't think he looks like him. If anything, he purposely tried to look like Jordan. When looking at images of him, he's purposely wearing Jordan's shoes and rocks the same earring as the NBA Hall of Famer. Clearly, he was doing all this on purpose just to make a quick buck. I guess all this didn't pay off, right? Because at the end of the day, nothing came of it. What a crazy case, am I, right, guys? I guess Air Jordan can't bob and weave out of every situation. We hope you enjoyed today's video.